Hello, thank you so much for joining us today. I am Christina with MSC Cruises, and I am thrilled to be here with one of our amazing partners, the Cruise Web. We have a very exciting presentation for you today. You're going to hear a little bit about who we are at MSC Cruises and get you so excited to get on board, but most notably, we are here today to talk about one of our newest home ports, which is launching in April, New York City. So New York, New York, we are coming to you. So we have a new home and new discoveries to begin very soon. So beginning in this April of 2023, at MSC Cruises, we'll be offering year-round sailings from New York City. Today, we're going to dive into those specific itineraries very soon, and also some fun things to do in those destinations. But before we get started, I'm going to tell you a little bit about who we are at MSC Cruises. Today, you're going to discover the world with us. You're going to learn all about our new home port, as well as our beautiful vessel, MSC Meraviglia, who's sailing to these incredible destinations. Of course, we're going to talk about fun things to do while you're on board and in port at some of these beautiful destinations. And lastly, we'll tell you how to get there. I know my partners and travel advisors at the Cruise Web are going to be able to help you with all of these amazing details, but I know it makes it seem more real when you realize that it's very easy to get to this brand new home port. We will also have time for questions at the end of the presentation, so please feel free to put any of your questions in the chat box of the presentation, and we'll be sure to get to your question. If we don't have time today, one of our amazing partners at the Cruise Web will certainly reach out to you. So without further ado, who are we at MSC Cruises? We are masters of the sea. We are a family company with over 300 years of maritime heritage. We are part of the MSC Cruises group. So not only do we have our cruise side of the business, we also have our cargo side of the business. So while we are focusing on New York City here today, we do sail to 250 destinations worldwide. And that's because of our amazing maritime heritage and seafaring history, that we have a lot of those unique itineraries that you might not see with another cruise line. We do have a long-term vision that's grounded in innovation. We are the fastest growing cruise line in the world, and we are coming out with brand new, beautiful ships, destinations, a private island, which I'll tell you about today, which just shows how we are headed into the future and our amazing plans for growth. Just some fast facts about who we are. I know I did mention this, but we are the world's fastest growing cruise line. We currently have 22 ships in our fleet and will be growing to 24 ships by 2025. We're the third largest cruise brand by capacity. We work across 5 different continents. And what I love so much about our brand is that we are a global brand. We have global offerings that we are able to adapt to local tastes and preferences. So the experience that you have here out of one of our North American ports might be completely different from one of the experiences you'll have in the Mediterranean on one of our vessels over there. We're truly a global and international cruise line and bringing people from around the world to discover the world together. Also, another key point about what kind of sets us apart as a brand is that we do have innovative, beautiful, amazing, gorgeous ships that are leading the way in environmental technologies. So we want you to discover the world with us. I know we're going to be talking a lot about New York today, but just a quick recap and a reminder, or maybe some new information for you. We do have 22 ships and over 250 different destinations. So no matter where you're looking to sail in the world, chances are that MSC Cruises sails there, and your CruiseWeb consultant can send you any information about any of the destinations listed here today. We do have Bermuda, Canada, and New England. We have fabulous itineraries as well as our very own private island in the Caribbean. We also sail in South America and South Africa. We have a breadth of itineraries in Europe and the Mediterranean. We are the Mediterranean. We are the #1 cruise line in the Mediterranean. We also have Egypt, the Red Sea, and Saudi Arabia. Some of my favorite itineraries include Dubai, Abu Dhabi, and Qatar. We do have China and Japan, and lastly, we do have World Cruise offerings. So no matter where you're traveling in the world, MSC Cruises can help you get there along with your CruiseWeb consultant. But back to what we're here to talk about today, and what I know you're all so excited to learn about, is that we are in a New York state of mind. We're thrilled to announce that we will be sailing year-round from New York City, beginning in this April of 2023, so April 22nd to be exact. MSC Meraviglia, one of my personal favorite vessels, which I will show you today so you can get very excited to get on board this destination in itself, will be home porting in the Brooklyn Cruise Terminal. I'll tell you a little bit about the Brooklyn Cruise Terminal today too, so you can get familiar and comfortable with that home port as a destination as well. And speaking of itineraries, which I'll show you in just a moment, these itineraries include Bahamas and Florida, Bermuda and Canada and New England. And these are open for sale. So please, while you're listening to this presentation, maybe you don't even need to get to the end, please reach out to your CruiseWeb consultant. They will be happy to book you and to send you pricing on these amazing itineraries. So some highlights, and I'll show you some timing in the ports for these highlights. From April to August, we'll be offering the Bahamas and Florida. So we'll be offering 7- and 8-night cruises visiting our award-winning private island, Ocean Cay MSC Marine Reserve, along with Nassau and late-night stays in either Port Canaveral or Port Miami. More to come in just a few minutes about some fun things to do in port there. From August to September, we'll be offering 6-night Bermuda sailings with 3 days and 2 overnight stays while docked in Kings Wharf. This really allows you to explore Bermuda as a destination. And last but not least, we couldn't miss the fall foliage of Canada and New England in October. We'll be offering 10- and 11-night cruises featuring calls at our favorite destination and North American ports, including Boston, Portland, Prince Edward Island, Nova Scotia, and St. John. Now, our ship. So how are you going to get to these beautiful destinations? On board, MSC Meraviglia is one of our newest and most modern ships. She has remarkable variety of dining, shopping, entertainment, and relaxation opportunities. I'm going to show you some of our staterooms today, but she does offer 10 different stateroom types, including our solo staterooms for anyone who is traveling as an individual or a single. We do have popular balcony cabins and stylish accommodations in our MSC Yacht Club. For any of my foodies out there, we do have 20 different bars and 12 restaurants, including Butcher's Cut Steakhouse and Kyoto Sushi and Teppanyaki. There's tons of different indoor and outdoor pools and hot tubs along with a water park and ropes course with our Himalayan salt bridge. I know this is sailing from the Northeast, so this ship is built for all weather cruising. So we do have tons of indoor space and also an indoor pool with a retractable dome. Our spas at MSC are simply incredible. Our Aria Spa on board MSC Meraviglia is no exception to this, and we also have a 6,000 square foot gym with state-of-the-art equipment. There's something for everyone on board this vessel. We have our MSC Kids Club with dedicated areas for babies, toddlers, children, teens, along with our Lego experience. To give you some more of a view into MSC Meravia, she did enter into service in 2017, so a very new vessel for you. She's about 4,415 guests based on double occupancy and about 174,000 tons. Some of our top spots and my favorite spots on board the vessel are our indoor promenade, which you can see featured the first photo on the top row. For those who like thrills and are thrill seekers, we do have our Himalayan Bridge and Water Park. For those of you who enjoy a wide variety of beers on tap, we do have our Brass Anchor Pub, which is just a great place to hang out. The thermal suite at our Aria Spa is just amazing for some relaxation and rest. And I would not be able to tell you about Meravia without telling you about one of my favorite things, our Jean Philippe Chocolatier and Cafe. You can actually customize and make your very own chocolate bar while on board. Accommodations, just so you have a view of some of our accommodations on board, you can see spacious, beautiful, and chic accommodations. We do have 2 MSC Yacht Club Royal Suites, so for those of you who like to travel in style. We have 77 of our Yacht Club Deluxe Suites on board Yacht Club on board this vessel, 15 MSC Yacht Club Interior Suites. We do have 8 of these amazing duplex suites, which is actually the first image shown here. This is a duplex, so it's 2 different levels. We offer over 1,200 balcony staterooms, 136 ocean views, 635 interiors, and 32 of those studio staterooms. So you can see accommodations that will be sure to please while you're on board. In terms of dining venues, we do have 5 specialty restaurants, 3 main dining restaurants, and 1 buffet. I love, one of my favorite restaurants is our Butcher's Cut Steakhouse, as well as Kyoto, our hibachi restaurant. On board fun, we do have 4 different pools. We have a 985 seat theater, kids club, an aqua park, a sportsplex, so really something for everyone on board to have a great time and enjoy their vacation. And the fabulous thing about a lot of these itineraries to New York is that they're actually calling on our very own private island, Ocean Cay MSC Marine Reserve. I'll show you those itineraries in just a moment, but I have to tell you about our private island in the Bahamas. It is simply amazing. Ocean Cay MSC Marine Reserve opened in 2019. It is a beautiful private island, but it's actually a true marine reserve as well. We transformed this island from an industrial island to a beautiful and flourishing island. We have 64 square miles that are protected as a marine reserve around the island. We planted over 75,000 trees, plants, and indigenous shrubs across the island. We relocated over 400 coral colonies, and we removed over 1,500 tons of scrap metal and waste to completely transform this island for you. Not only did we transform the island, but we re-energized our marine biodiversity. So we have sea turtle hatchlings coming back to this island, and so many exciting things that you have to get to the island and check it out yourself. I'm going to show you a great video so you can get a sneak peek on the island and see where you'll be headed on some of these destinations. So just one moment while I pull up the video.
There is a breathtaking private island where you can escape and truly explore the beauty of nature. A hidden oasis in the Bahamas, just miles east off the Florida coast. A one-of-a-kind island experience for MSC Cruises guests of all ages. This is Ocean Cay MSC Marine Reserve. An exclusive island getaway with endless, spectacular views. Relax, refresh, and reinvigorate at the Spa Ocean Key. Through MSC's strong commitment to conservation and its eco-friendly initiatives, you're part of a bigger movement to help save our oceans. Snorkel through crystal clear aqua blue waters and explore an ancient shipwreck. Or dive to a coral reef and discover all the diverse natural marine life in this protected marine reserve. Have a kayak adventure, spend the day paddleboarding, or really let loose for a thrilling open water ride. Plus, with 95 acres and 8 expansive beaches, each with its own bar, there's something for everyone. And for our Yacht Club guests, there's the exclusive MSC Yacht Club Beach and Restaurant with butler service and VIP amenities. In the evening, the beach becomes a romantic twilight fantasy with full moon parties, dancing, and Junkanoo parades. With such clear night skies, far away from the bright lights of the city, you'll see the stars like you've never seen them before. If you want to truly experience the beauty of nature, come to Ocean Key, MSC Marine Reserve, only at MSC Cruises.
So as you can see, the island is such a special, special destination. So while it's not only a marine reserve, there's so much to do. I know you saw many of it on the video, but from our Bohemian style village where you can shop, eat, drink, and relax, to excursions of snorkeling, kayaking, paddleboarding, and much more. And our spa, so we have a spa right on the island. Our lighthouse bar with a Hemingway-inspired bar in the evening, which has our light show and entertainment. So we do have late night stays on the island. And for those of you who are looking for a special experience, we do offer weddings on the island, and of course, a private beach and exclusive restaurant for our MSC Yacht Club guests. So itineraries. Now I know you had the opportunity to hear a little bit about our brand, to learn a little bit about the ship, to learn about our very own destination, Ocean Key MSC Marine Reserve. Now let's check out some of the itineraries. I'm going to start with a very unique opportunity, which is a fabulous repositioning. So this is a very, very amazing itinerary. So what you'll do is you'll actually board in Port Canaveral, and you'll spend 11 nights checking out some of these amazing destinations, from Nassau in the Bahamas to Ocho Rios, Jamaica, to Aruba, to Curacao, to Puerto Plata in the Dominican Republic, and lastly, you'll end up in New York City. So for any of you who are looking to hit some of these amazing destinations, and maybe you live in Florida in the winter and you're headed back up for the spring, a great way to travel in style back home. Or if some of you, prefer to fly out of Port Canaveral and fly or drive home for New York City, I just wanted to point this out. This will be sailing on April 9th. We will have these Bahamas and Florida itineraries from April to September. So these are fantastic itineraries. You can see you have 2 to choose from. So the first would offer Nassau in the Bahamas, Ocean Key MSC Marine Reserve, and either Port Canaveral or Miami. So the first itinerary is noted on the top, and then we have the second at the bottom. You can speak with your CruiseWeb consultant to see which works best for you, and based on what destination you want to explore, be it Port Canaveral and Orlando or maybe Miami. The one thing I do want to point out is you can see both of these itineraries call on our private island from 9 a.m. to 10 o'clock at night. So you do have those fabulous late night stays in the island. We'll then be offering Canada and New England from September to October. You won't want to miss the fall foliage. It's just simply amazing. So we'll have 2 itineraries to choose from, featuring ports of call like Newport, Boston, St. John, Portland, Sydney, Charlottetown, Halifax, and you'll have the option of either doing 10 nights with 2 different departures or 11-night sailings. So you can take a look at some of those itineraries right there. And of course, if you have any questions, your CruiseWeb consultant can help you get there. Bermuda, I am so excited about these Bermuda departures. These will be from August to September of this year. These are going to be 6-night itineraries and offering 2 overnights. So this is fantastic because you'll have 2 days and 2 nights to explore Bermuda and all it has to offer, which I'll touch on in just a few moments. So from August to September, make sure you check it out. You'll be able to have a fabulous stay and vacation in Bermuda on board MSC Meraviglia, which is a destination in itself. So now I'm going to tell you a little bit about some of my favorite things to do in these ports of call, and then we'll have some time for some questions and answers after how we can get you there and talk a little bit about different transportation offerings. Some of my favorite highlights for New York City would be the Statue of Liberty in Ellis Island, of course, Central Park and the Metropolitan Museum, and you can't go to New York without doing the hop on, hop off New York City classic bus tour, so please keep that in mind. We do have tours with airport and pier transportation as well, so some of my favorite things in New York City as one of our home ports. For the Bahamas and Florida, Nassau, gosh, in the Bahamas, there is so much to do for you. Some of my favorite things are swimming with dolphins on the Stingray Encounter. You can also do a cabana rental, a Blue Lagoon Island beach day, and you know, you have to explore like a local. So we do have a Nassau by Jeep with a lunch and car and driver. So just some highlights to do in Nassau. It's such a great destination. And of course, you can't miss the crystal clear blue water while you're in the Bahamas. Onshore in Florida, so some of the highlights for Port Canaveral and also Port Miami. So some things to highlight in Port Canaveral, of course, are Space Coast highlights. You know, it's just so amazing to experience that. We do have our airboat adventures as well. You can go kayaking at Manatee Cove. Manatees are just simply amazing. We have the Kennedy Space Center, and then of course we do have transfers to Disney as well. In Miami, we have tons of fun things to do, from our hop on, hop off city tour, from the Everglades tour to, of course, our van with a driver. So lots of fun things to do in these destinations as well. Our private island, I know we touched on a lot of fun things to do in the island, but just as a reminder and some specific excursions that we have available, we have our Sunset Champagne Cruise, our Twilight Scenic Island Cruise and Light Show, paddleboard tours, glow nighttime stand-up paddleboarding. I mean, the marine life you can see in the evening is just amazing. You can rent wave runners, but for those of you who just want to hang out, we have cabanas available for rent as well as equipment rentals. For Canada and New England, some of the highlights of some of these destinations. Onshore in New England, we have Rhode Island, Maine, and Massachusetts. Beautiful, beautiful New England destinations available for you, and especially in September and October. I cannot think of a better time to go and check this out. From doing some of the historic walking tours to checking out the lighthouses of Maine. And of course, I love a lot of these foodie walking tours. These are just simply amazing. And in October, how could you resist the Salem and Witch Tour Museum? So just a few of our favorite things and some highlights of onshore activities available in New England. In Canada, we have St. John, Charlottetown, and Sydney, also beautiful destinations, and especially that time of year. You can have fun things by going and doing a brewery tour and tasting, to some whale and wildlife watching. You can do Charlottetown by a horse-drawn trolley. You can do historic tours. There's just really something for everyone. I mean, sailing in Sydney, there's just so much to do to explore this beautiful, beautiful destination. And last but not least, we do have Bermuda. For those of you who do remember, we are doing those overnight stays in Bermuda. So what to do? There is so many amazing things to do, from our clock tower shipping mall to our glass blowing factory to the rum cake factory, Bermuda Clay Works, our crafters market, the dolphin quest, snorkeling, and also a trip to King's Wharf would not be complete without a National Museum of Bermuda. We do have tons of great excursions offered, from Segway adventures to catamaran tours to a glass bottom boat tour. There is just really something for everyone, and you'll have tons of time to explore this destination. Now in Hamilton, this is another destination. What do you have to do? Lots of fun things, from our Underwater Exploration Institute, from parks to our National Gallery, tons of different arts and culture here. So really an opportunity to experience this destination. And St. George, this is a UNESCO World Heritage Site. A lot of great things to do, from King Square to reenactments to our perfume factories and tours to beautiful historic churches. So absolutely not a destination to miss. And beaches. So, when you're on vacation, especially to the Caribbean, I know you want to check out some beaches. So there is pink sand for miles. Some of the top 5 beaches include Horseshoe Bay Beach, Jobson's Cove Beach, Warwick Long Bay Beach, Elbow Beach, and Church Bay Beach. So you have to check these out. These are just Instagrammable, TikTokable moments that you cannot miss. Now, I know we learned a little bit about some of the fun things to do in those destinations, but what about getting there? I want to tell you a little bit about the Brooklyn Cruise Terminal, and of course, your CruiseWeb consultant can answer any of these questions as well. So the Brooklyn Cruise Terminal is located in the Red Hook area of New York. It opened in 2006, and it's actually voted best new home port by Porthole Cruise Magazine. There's tons of ample and dedicated parking and dedicated embarkation and debarkation areas as well. If you need the address, it's right here. So 210 Clifton Wharf in Brooklyn, New York. And getting there, you can get there by taxi. You can see there are some taxi rates. These are approximate rates from JFK, LaGuardia, and Newark International Airport. So really not an unreasonable taxi ride in getting there. You can also take the bus. There's subway transportation, of course, in New York City, great subway and ways to get around, and of course the ferry. So you can take the nearest New York City ferry landing is in the Red Hook landing on the South Brooklyn route. For those of you who are driving, there's tons of parking at the Brooklyn Cruise Terminal. It's on the south side of the terminal entrance, overlooking the Statue of Liberty. So a great way to start your vacation with a photo overlooking the Statue of Liberty. So the nice thing is the ship arrives between 7 to 8 a.m. and passengers who have parked at the terminal are often finished with customs and off the property by 10 to 10:30. So the parking spaces are freed up. I know this is a lot of information on parking. If you have any additional questions, you can certainly reach out directly to the Brooklyn Terminal. But some parking rates, overnight rates up to 24 hours are $30. So very reasonable, $30 a day to park right at the Brooklyn Cruise Terminal. So I know that was a lot of great information on our newest destination and home port of New York City. I do have some time for some questions today, and I saw some great ones coming in. So I'm going to take a peek at some of these questions. And of course, if I didn't get to your question today, we certainly will be reaching out to you and making sure we're getting in touch and getting that answer to you. Okay, great question about our yacht club experience. I know we did not have a lot of time to talk about Yacht Club today, but for those of you who are interested in Yacht Club, it is simply an incredible experience. It's a ship within a ship, 24-hour butler service, 24-hour concierge, premium beverages, Wi-Fi. Yacht Club guests have their own sun deck, their own pool, and the experience really starts when you get to the terminal. There's a special section for Yacht Club guest check-in, and your butler takes you ahead of all of the crowds and make sure you're situated and you are ready to go and have an amazing experience from the time you arrive. Those are just some highlights of our MSC Yacht Club experience. I know your cruise web consultant can tell you more about this incredible experience, but I know you'll have a simply amazing time. Okay, I see another question coming in. Oh, I'm glad this came up because we didn't have the opportunity to talk about that today. Our status match. So thank you so much for bringing this up. Our status match is amazing. So for those of you who may have heard of our status match, or maybe they're new to it, our status match is our loyalty program where we match your status from other cruise lines and hoteliers. So without ever having sailed with us before, you get similar perks and you get the points. So you get the points wherever you're matched over at. You don't have to start from scratch. And this is just a great way, for those of you who haven't sailed MSC before, give us a shot. You'll have an amazing time and you're going to get similar perks. So there's really a win-win for everyone. Now, I know we're running out of time today, so I think I just have time for one more question. I know there were so many great questions. So if we don't have time, please feel free to give us a call or we'll reach out to you. But this is a very important question. Please remind me when you are beginning sailing out of New York again. So great question. In April of 2023, we will begin sailing out of New York. We are so excited and thankful for our partner, the Cruise Web, who is such a great partner to MSC. And for those of you who took the time to join us here today, we look forward to welcoming you on board. Thank you so much and have a great rest of your day.